Manlius are doing it year round now, so maybe a wintertime thing. I don't know about the summer.
That lawyer I told you about that's on SPD said they just changed their policy. They can have beards year round too.
That's because they're using it as far as the reform and stuff, that the younger generation can relate better with people with like sleeve tattoos and beards and stuff like that.
Really?
They're easier to talk to. They don't look so military looking, short hair and clean cut. And
I'm a little skeptical about that.
Studies are showing that if you're scruffy looking, they'll talk to you more. Who knows? Maybe someone will talk to me more, I guess.
I just did.
See, it's working.
It's working. Yeah.
Except mine's not black like yours.
No, you look close. There's some gray in there. No doubt on that one. So.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the December 9th, 2020 regular town board meeting for the town of Cicero. For those of you who are in the room, please note the emergency exits in the unlikely event that you need them. Here at the meeting tonight, Judy Boyke, Wayne Freeman, Tracy Councilman, and Gretchen Walter. And virtually, we have Mike Bacallo, Jonathan Karp, Nancy White, Steve Procopio, Elka Johans, Steve Ortuno, Robert Germain, Nicole Walsh, Kate Fiorello, Mike Marizio, Mike Bragman Sr., and I believe Mike Jr. is there. I can't see on the screen right now. We have Hal Romans and Hank Chapman. And clerk, will you please call the roll?
Counselor Boyke.
Here.
Counselor Karp.
Here.
Counselor White. Here. Counselor Bacallo.
Here.
Supervisor Meyer.
Here. Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Please remain standing for a moment to recognize the troops in harm's way around the world. And during this time of the year, please remember all of those who made the ultimate sacrifice at Pearl Harbor 79 years ago. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, approve abstracts. Nancy?
Approval of abstracts. Resolved, the Cicero Town Board approves abstract numbers 48, dated November 16th, 2020, and 49, dated November 24th, 2020.
Second.
Discussion? Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke.
Yes.
Counselor Karp.
Yes.
Counselor White.
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo.
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes. Item is adopted. Nancy, number 3.
Budget modifications. Resolved, the budget modifications are approved as presented.
Second, Counselor Gallo.
Discussion? Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke.
Yes.
Counselor Carp,
Aye.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Number 4, continuation of the public hearing to consider opting out of section 487 of the real property tax law. At the previous meeting, we made note that the notice was properly posted, and we went through the resolution as it was presented. Are there any board members who would like to go through any additional information for the public hearing? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Next item, number 5, seeker opting out of section 47 of the real property tax law. Work resolved, the Cicero Town Board adopts a resolution declaring the town's action to approve opting out of section 487 of the real property tax law proposed. Local law number 12 of 2020 is an unlisted action for the purposes of seeker compliance. The proposed action will not have a negative impact on the environment and involves no other permit manning authorities outside the town. According to the proposed action, it does not require a preparation of a draft environmental impact statement or any other statement as adopted.
Second.
Second, Mrs. Boyke. Discussion on number 5. Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke,
Yes.
Counselor Carp,
Yes.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Judy, number 6.
Opting out of section 487 of the real property tax law. Whereas pursuant to New York State Real Property Tax Law, section 10212B, a solar or wind energy system is considered real property for the purpose of taxation once it is affixed to real property or a structure. And whereas section 487 of the New York State Real Property Tax Law, RPTL, currently allows owners of real property to apply for and obtain a 15-year exemption from additional property taxation related to improvements installed or affixed to the property for qualifying solar or wind energy systems. And whereas the RPTL allows local taxation jurisdiction to opt out of the disallow the taxation exemption for solar and wind energy systems pursuant to section 487. Now be resolved. The Cicero Town Board adopts local law 12 of 2020 to opt out of section 487 of the real property tax law, RPTL, declaring improvements related to solar and wind energy systems fully taxable in the town of Cicero. And be it further resolved that this local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State.
Second, Counselor Bacallo.
Discussion on number 6. Do you have anything you want to add on that?
Not really.
I have one item.
Okay,
We just have to make sure that,
Okay.
we have to make sure that our clerk also provides a copy to the Department of State and the Department of Energy, and I can supply those addresses.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Is there anything else? I don't believe there is, that it speaks pretty clearly.
Some genius wrote it.
Further discussion on number 6. Clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Boyke,
Yes.
Counselor Carp,
Aye.
Counselor White,
Yes.
Counselor Bacallo,
Aye.
Supervisor Meyer.
Yes, item is adopted. Thank you. Number 7. Mike, I think, Mike Bagman Senior, I think I see you and Hal and another one, so I'm assuming that's Mike Junior. So,
Mike Jr. is not here.
oh, he's not here. Is there another person there?
Tim Coyer.
Okay, thank you. Mike, did you want to start it out?
Yes, first let me say Supervisor Meyer and members of the town board, thank you very much for talking with us about this project, which will be known as the Horner Farmstead Project. This project is approximately 64 acres, would be approximately 64 acres, and is located on Lake Shore Road in the vicinity of Mud Mill Road and Whiting Road. As you said, both Tim Poyer and Al Romans are here. They're the ones that will oversee most of the technical portion of this project. And the Bragman companies would be the owners and the developers. This is kind of a unique project in as much as all of the acreage has been under one ownership, or most of it, except for splitting off to a couple of family members circa 1920. And I guess I look at it this way, not exactly, but about 3 days off. 1965, which is 55 years ago, I had the honor of becoming a board member on the Cicero board. And Gladys Horner was in the town clerk's office. The only thing that saves me here is that, as I said, the family was there, including Gladys and her husband Oscar, since 1920. So she would have been a little bit older than. We first came to know each other, as I said, back in the town of Cicero days of 1960s. And we knew from the very beginning that this was a very proud family that wanted to contribute to the town. There was nothing more important to the town. And at the same time, they wanted to be sure that the family was recognized for the things that could be attributable to them for a various list of reasons. Because we came to know each other, it became clear that they were not interested in developing the property back then. They thought that they could do it themselves, that they could retain the acreage themselves and do it in a way that the acreage would remain in a natural state. Therefore, just a couple weeks ago, my son and I were pleased when Bob Horner called and said, we've decided that we can't do this ourselves, or we don't want to do it ourselves. And the estate members have asked that the property be developed in a way that would be similar to our trademark. Our trademark, if you know, the Pastures Project or the Crossings Project or Champlain at the Lake, those are all in the town of Cicero for your homes projects. We've preserved the history in all of those projects. We're able to do so because of unique circumstances, such as one family being on the land and preserving the land for some 55 years. Some, take that back, some 100 years. So we now, as a result of that phone call, own the property. Some preliminary work has been done. Hale and Tim will talk to you in reference to the sketch map and the wetland delineation. We are working with a traffic consultant, and various other professionals are being put under agreement as we proceed, and there's a need for that. I just wrapped this up by saying that I think that you'll see that this is kind of a unique property in a couple of ways. One, it will allow us to do single family homes, but different types of single family homes. It appears to us that the home prices would start at $300,000 up. But this is the kind of project that has some woods, has some lots that are more than an acre, has some other lots with amenities that make them very special. So I would think that this could be the kind of project that would allow people to come in and to have various types of homes, and it's something that we think is very important. And lastly, what the Horners are asking us to do is to preserve the historic integrity of this property. That doesn't mean anything more or less than us coming in. The Horners are calling and searching now. They have artifacts, they have photographs, they have narratives, they have everything that is a part of their history. So whether we name the project the Horner Farmstead, or we name streets for streets and other green spaces for people, places, events that have been associated with the property, that would be our intention. So we're excited about this project. We hope that we can convince everybody else to be excited about this project. And at this point, thanks for the long dissertation. Thanks for listening to the long dissertation. And I would turn things over to Hale with another message of thank you.
Excuse me, Mike, are we able to screen share?
Could you repeat that, please?
Are we able to screen share? Are we able to get permission to screen share our sketch? And Mike, are we able to screen share our sketch?
That'd be for Wayne, I believe.
Oh,
I think the meeting is already set up to allow sharing.
it's not helping. It's not working for us. Yeah. I don't know if Wayne can put up the sketch, but we're not able to screen share on our end.
Tim, it looks like you've been given the host as of right now, so I believe you can share.
There we go.
Okay, this is Hal Romans. Good evening, everyone. So the plan is up on the screen now, and you can see that on the north side is Lake Shore Road. On the west side is Eldon Meadow, zoned R12. On the south end is Joseph's Landing, which is also R12. And on the east side is Wallington Meadows, which is zoned R10. What we're looking for is a zoning of R12 for this 64.5 acre parcel. There would be 3 road connections. The first one would be on the north onto Lakeshore Road. And you can see that I've kind of thread the needle, so to speak, between 2 wetlands. There's a wetland on the left and on the right side of the proposed road. And where I come out is actually an existing driveway culvert for a field drive. And what we would do is have our traffic engineer verify that it has the stopping sight distance. The other connections would be on the west side. The first one on the north is Farm Gate Path, and the one on the south is Cat's Paw Terrace. They both come out of Eldon Meadows. They have existing pavement basically to the property line, and they have utilities, sanitary sewer and water there. There's also sanitary sewer and water out on Lake Shore Road. This plan shows 120 R12 lots. What that means is the smallest lot is 12,000 square feet. There's a majority of lots to the south end of the project where you see the 2 cul-de-sacs. That's a large wooded area bisected by a wetland that goes through the property. You can see we crossed the wetland at one location, and then we have those 2 cul-de-sacs down there. Those are larger lots, and they're very wooded back there. The total impact on the wetlands would be less than 1/10 of an acre. The only place we would impact it is where we cross this 1 cul-de-sac on the south, and then up again near Lakeshore Road where we cross it, where Tim is showing the hand movement there, and also up near the culvert because there's a sliver of wetland that goes basically along the roadside stretch. So by keeping it under 1/10 of an acre, we'd be able to do a nationwide permit and would probably not have to do any kind of do anything as far as mitigating wetlands. The traffic engineer has been brought on board, and he's in contact with County DOT as far as the scope of the traffic study. We would make that part of our submittal for the zone change. And we have a design engineer that's coming on board and is helping us to ensure that we have sewer capacity and also to help with stormwater management. This 120 lots, I believe, is the maximum number. I believe that this might go down a little bit as we take into account what we have to do for stormwater management. We're kind of limited, or we are limited on our connection points because there was no planned interconnection on Wallington Meadows to the east. There are the 2 planned connections to come in from Eldon Meadow, and then on the south, there is no connection coming out of Joseph Landing there. There is a small portion of property on the south that is still zoned agricultural. It's its own property there, it's right next to, right there. We do not show a connection to that. If that's something that as we go through the process, the planning board would want us to look at, that's something that we could try and accommodate. Other than that, at this point, if you have any questions, you'd like to ask them.
Questions from the board?
Not for me.
I'm good.
I think the thing that I really want to just make sure everybody understands is that we're asking for R12. The property to the west of the Meadows is R12. The property to the south, Joseph Landing is R12. The property to the east is R10. We just feel that R12, they're a little bit larger lots. It gives us a better lot for putting on different houses, such as 1-story versus 2-story, and keeping the price range in that 300,000 plus.
Any questions from the board members?
I was just able to talk to the rest of
Nope, none for me at this time.
Okay. Thank you. I did not have the same relationship with the Horner family as that Mike did, but I can tell you, I can remember clearly a conversation I had with the Horner family sitting at their dining room table. And they, that was in the 1980s. And they then had the idea of having this dream come true. So it's kind of interesting for Mike and I from different perspectives are seeing this project come together. So thank you for bringing it forward. Okay, after no further questions, I'll move on to the next item. Jonathan, did you get the email from Kate on some corrections on that resolution?
I did, and I do have the substituted language, which, thank you for the record, will